What? A Frio Guerilla. It's really been a while, hasn't it? 久しぶりだね、ゲリラは。This is my first Guerilla I do in English also. I believe. これは初めての英語枠のゲリラだね。Hey everyone, I'm Freodore, designer of NIJISANJI EN's 11th unit by The Beat. こんにちは。NIJISANJI EN 所属 by The Beat のビジュアルセンスがこだわりのデザイナー、フリオドールです。Hello, hello. This time it's gonna be a tea satsu instead of a coffee satsu. I'm drinking tea right now. 今お茶飲んでるからコーヒーsatsuじゃなくてティーsatsuだ。And yeah, the poll in the beginning was just to decide on the background. I wasn't sure, should I use the red background that I did on the anime Impulse Satsu or should I use the moon background? It's been a while, but you guys decided on the moon. So we're gonna be under the moon tonight. And what tea? It's licorice. Licorice throat coat. So yeah, no, I did hold a coffee satsudan earlier today, and I did say that I was not gonna see you guys until next week. But I was when I was planning my schedule, I realized that I probably won't be able to have a solo stream until Friday. And I thought that would be a little bit of a long time, so I thought I might as well do another stream here. There's also something that I want to address and talk about. I didn't bring it up in the coffee satsudan because, to be honest, I just wasn't completely there at the beginning of the stream, and I also wanted to take some time for myself to reflect and think about how I wanted to address this. However, I really do not want to wait until Friday either to address it because otherwise I'm not gonna be at ease. I think it's better to just talk about it as soon as possible. そうだね。ゲリラ殺談するの理由は、スケジュールを企画したときに、またソロ配信するときには多分また、日本枠の、日本時間の、土曜日かな？土曜日までソロ配信しないから、じゃあ、また殺談しようと思ったね。でもね、最初話したいことがあります。特に英語のことだけど。So, I think it's better if I address the elephant in the room, in the moon. But yeah, no, I don't want to make this environment also super serious, but this is something that I want to seriously also... how do I say it? It is something serious, but I don't want anyone feeling bad in a way. So, yeah, let me explain the situation. Yesterday, I received a post from a lot of very kind Doremina community posts displaying my journey in a hypothetical survival show, Boys to Planet style. It was really cool. And when I replied to it, thanking for the efforts, I also irresponsibly added a request for that in the next time fan projects or community projects aren't added to the Egosa tag, but instead to the general tag. I thought at the time that maybe if I replied instead of addressing it on stream, I wouldn't have to derail from stream and it also would make it visible. However, I think that was not the right play. I don't think it's fair to reply to a single person or even a single group because I think it comes out as bringing too much visibility. There's a difference in, I don't know if power, but scale in terms of my position as a liver compared to a fan. So I don't think that was appropriate of mine to do. And also I think adding that directly under the reply also can come off as dismissing the project, right? I I don't want it. I think it comes off of like, yeah, thank you, but you didn't do this. And my intention was not to correct, scold, or anything because it's not something that I ever clarified. However, it was more of a request from now on. However, I don't think I approached that correctly, and I sincerely apologize to every doremin that I have hurt. From now on, I will not approach introducing a new rule or way of doing things in this manner. That's how I want to move on from now on. And as for the project, of course, I was very happy to receive it. It really made me happy to see so many people invested into survival shows and Boys to Planet as much as I did back then. And also it really reminded me of how much I would fantasize being in those scenarios when I was auditioning. To be in NIJISANJI. And now I'm here. It was a nice callback. So thank you very much. I'm gonna explain briefly in Japanese. It's I won't go too long because there's a few more things that I want to clear up as well, because I don't think I've done a good job at that until now. So, 少しだけ説明しますね、日本語でも。まあ、昨日ね、いろんなドレミンが、僕にプロジェクトを作ってくれたね。僕が、なんか、フリオはサバイバル番組で参加したら、どんな感じのプロジェクトね、マジでかっこよかった。けど、あの時は僕はリプライするときに、ありがとうね、ありがとうございます、マジでかっこいいと言ってたけど、後で僕が、けどまた今度、ファンプロジェクトなら、エゴサタグじゃなくて、ジェネラルタグでつけた方がいいってくださいって言ってたから、それは、やっぱり良くなかったと思ったね。良くなかったと思った。また今度、配信やリプライじゃなくて、返信じゃなくて、ジェネラルの方がいいと思うから、また今度気をつけますね。ありがとうございます。Alright, and now regarding the egosa tag, I think this is something that I have not been I think I introduced this very carelessly. I am pretty sure I went out of my way to investigate just to confirm once again. Egosa tag and the uses of the egosa tag is something that is pretty common in the JP side, but it's not that common here. I believe I am the first one in EN to bring it here. And then my genmates from By the Beat were the ones that followed after me after I explained to them what it was. And I don't even think I explained to them very well back then. So yeah, regarding the egosa tag, I explained this before when I clarified a few things, which I think I didn't even do well last time. I feel like I really should have researched more. But I bear the responsibility that despite, of course, this being EN, and things can vary depending on like the culture and the dynamics, since I'm the one bringing this here, borrowing it from another culture that is not mine, I feel like I bear the responsibility of like at least introducing it the way it's normally used, and before there's some alterations depending on each library. So I really feel like I should have done more research. I should have investigated more, looked around how it's more used, because I feel like I introduced a very surface level usage of it at the beginning. So I apologize to the JP community as well for half-heartedly, that's a hard word to say, borrowing this tag and not introducing it properly. So ね、今回は I'm gonna explain briefly in Japanese as well, right? 今回はエゴサタグの話ね。それはもちろんエゴサタグ使うのはまあ普通に JP 文化だね。JP 文化のことだけど、僕がEN に貸してくれたね。けどまあやっぱりちゃんと検索してなかったね。説明するときにちゃんと説明しなくて、多分エゴサタグの使い方はちょっと歪んでると気がして、後でまた説明したけど、それも ちゃんとしてなかった気がするから、また説明したいね。これは僕の文化じゃないから、もちろんわからない部分が多いけど、僕が家にこれを貸したから、なんか、ちゃんと説明するの責任があると思いますね。まだ完璧じゃないけど、半端でこの文化を貸すのすいませんでした。I think from now on, I want to be a little bit more specific about what I want or what I think would be appropriate for my Egosa tag. This does not represent other Egosa tags. I feel like my genmates have already stated what they're okay with and what they want. And in the case that changes, please wait until them to address it. This is just for mine, okay? And then there are various things here that I didn't say anything about in the past, or that I said that it was okay earlier. So if until now anyone has posted anything like this on the Egosa tag, you're fine. You're fine. You're good. I didn't make any updates. I had not explained. I had not said anything about it. So if until now you posted any of the things that I'm not gonna include in the tag usage, you're okay. You're okay. No worries. All right. そして今まで多分なんかエゴサタグの記載を説明しますが、後で多分今までエゴタグで少なくていいことが今までつけてたの人に、まあ僕が今まで全然何も言ってなかったから大丈夫ですよね。気にしないでください。けどこれからこうにしよう。Okay, let's I didn't really plan this ahead of time. I didn't really want to make this too scripted. I wanted to speak sincerely with everyone more than anything. So let's add a text over here. Hello. And let's do a nice font. Is this font okay? Yes, it is. I like this font. Nice. Nice. Oh, that's my clock. Where are you? Oh, that is a camera screen. Let me grab you. There you go. Sometimes we just need to ask, I guess. All right. Got it. So, Egosa tag, ego search. So, what I think, what I want at least now, outside of the Egosa tag, is mostly oshikatsu activities. So, the main thing would be goods, or merch. You know, I think that's gonna be the main activity, and I think that's what a lot of people are doing, mostly on the Egosa tag already. So it's always really nice to see where everyone takes the papes, the checkies, the acrylic stands. Wait. Let me explain these points and then I can answer questions, okay? Goods, merch, taking it to places, showing me where you take, especially Foodie Papa is gonna be shipping in December, right? So I'm really excited to see where you guys take it. And I think some people might have been wondering if it's okay, for example, to show themselves. Like, for example, on the Nihon Hyakaten collab panel, when there's like a life-size panel, if it's okay to show pictures of themselves and put it in the Egosa tag. I think that is okay, but I would please ask you to please censor your face for the sake of privacy. Either a mosaic or cropping it out. That would be fine. And of course, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. Let's just not risk our privacy in any case. Optional but encouraged? Not necessarily encouraged, it's up to you. It's just nothing that I would prohibit, you know? Okay. 最初は、多分一番、普通の使い方は、グッズね。グッズを、いろんなのを、なんていうの、つけてくる場所を見せて、がいいと思いますね。そして多分、気になってる人がいたかな。パネルがいたらとか、自分を見せるのも大丈夫です、写真で。けど、僕が大丈夫だと思う。ただ、顔を隠してくれたらいいと思うね。プライバシーを大事にするために。モザイクとかクロップとか、それが普通でしょ。Alright. Next would be fan events. Of course, it's related to my activities, right? I think if I'm allowed to go back earlier, let me. This is all over the place. But first, when I explained the Egosa tag, I said that it was for anything you want me to see. And then after I clarified or I changed it a little bit more, I said anything related to my activities. But I think for now on, we're going to stick to these a little bit more. And of course, fan events related to our activities as well. For example, like meet and greets. We participated in Anime Impulse and Kosnichi earlier. So of course, showing your meet and greet pictures, showing any stuff about us, about me on the event, at the events you saw, that is completely okay. No worries about that. And I think so far people have shown us really cool stuff about the events. It was really cool seeing the collab with Nippon Hyakuten. It was really cool seeing the Anime Impulse and the Kosnichi post from fans, so I think this is good. If it's a community gathering, that is completely fine. If you want to show like your goods or stuff related to us that the community gathered or met up with, that is completely fine. I think it's pretty normal for friends to get together and show, look, I met up with this friend and we had something together, or we organized a little party or something. That is completely fine, as long as it's like more relevant to like oshikatsu than like a fan project, right? But anyways, I'm gonna keep going. Maybe once I explain all the points, it's gonna be a little bit more clear before I get to some questions, okay? Like at cons, even if it's organized con events, that's fine. So yeah, no. I'm gonna try and hold back from answering questions until I explain this. そしてなんかイベントなんかイベントの写真とかいろんなブースとかパネルとかを見せてもらうのも大丈夫ですね。別に全然大丈夫です。Alright. Next would be stream or video impressions. Content impressions, video, like let's say I release a cover or a stream or something. It's like, hey, It's like your thoughts about it is like, thank you for streaming this game. I keep getting a lot of posts like that. And it's like I like this point or something. Just impressions about it, general impressions about maybe a stream, an event, a cover, something like that. As long as it's within the realms of more impressions and not really like criticism, feedback, or telling me what to do instead, okay? モデルなんか配信と、動画コンテンツの感想ね。次。これも普通ね。もちろん。ただなんか、上からフィードバックじゃなくて感想の方がいいと思うけどね。ありがとうございます。Now, next would be milestone celebrations. I think this is also pretty common. Whenever I reach a certain milestone, a certain goal, something. You guys have congratulated me, maybe shared a screenshot. That is completely fine. I think so many of you guys have been showing me your YouTube Wrapped. Thank you so much, everyone that has had me on their 0.something% for their YouTube Wrapped. I still don't have it myself. I still don't have the YouTube recap, YouTube Wrapped myself. I'm waiting for it. I don't get it. I'm not getting it. 次は、EY ね。多分、ゴールを、なんか届くときに、EY のは、もちろん大丈夫ですね。最近みんななんか YouTube のリカップみたいな感じね。の振り返る、部分をいろんなスクショを見せてもらってるから、まあありがたいですね。マジで嬉しいです。僕はまだ、あの機能ないから、なんだろう。わかんないね。I don't know if I'll share it if I receive it, but I'm curious about it. Alright, next would be DIY projects. There's been a lot of very talented people sharing like DIY plushies, DIY dolls as well. Little projects of me or of Doremin. I think that is completely fine. They're super cool. So yeah, of course. That is also related to my activities in my image, so I think that is completely fine to do on my Negos attack. DIY のやつね。なんか DIY のぬいぐるみとか、人形とか、それも大丈夫ですね。こう、いいと思うから。コースプレイはないです。それは後で説明しますね。Cosplay does not fall under DIY. That is something I'm gonna explain following, okay? And then last would be coffee. Preferably with goods. Of course. Coffee is a big part of my activities. I love coffee. There's been so many people going out of their way to visit so many coffee shops and showing me like the acrylic stand or the cheki or the types of coffee shops that you guys have been visiting. That is completely okay. I would prefer if you guys are showing pictures, if you guys follow it up with the first rule, which is goods and merch. I think that would be ideal. Of course, I think I would prefer to avoid really long posts or letters, but sometimes people describe their coffee, the coffee they ordered. So that is completely fine. If it's more straight to the point, that would be preferred. That way it won't get too personal, but otherwise, I think coffee is the exception. And this is going to be something that's probably the least common in like Egosas tag usage. That is something that I am putting that is something that I'm putting myself here. But so far it's been pretty okay. I don't think I've had any problems with it, so we're gonna stick like that for the time being. Now, next, this is going to be what consists of what I think is okay for the egosa tag. Now I'm gonna be a little bit more specific about what I think should be avoided on the egosa tag, okay? But sorry, I should explain the last in Japanese as well. そして最後はもちろんコーフィね、喫茶を言うときにいろいろ教えてもらってるから、それは大丈夫ですね。これは多分普通のエゴサの使い方はちょっと違うけど、まあ僕の活動でコーヒーは大事だから、みんながコーヒーなんか喫茶と言ったらいろんななんか注文したコーヒーを見せてくれたらもちろん嬉しいですね。特にグーズと写真撮ったらいいと思いますね。Alright. So, next is going to be stuff that I think should perhaps be avoided. Do we have spice? Do we have spice? Do we have... This is doing too. Perhaps. Alright. Once again, I repeat, if any of this in the following list has been done so far, I think it's completely fine because this time it's going to be a little bit different. So please don't worry. You're good now. You're good. I think this is just how I would like to move on moving forward. Alright. So, the first is a diary exchange or personal posts, especially those unrelated to my activities. I think this is one of the first things that I clarified a few months ago, back when I was a little bit more specific about the egosa tag. And I think for now, most people have really avoided this, so this would be just normal as usual. I think it's just I want to avoid a lot of personal posts, a lot of diary, like especially unrelated to my activities. Like Frio, today I did this and that. Thank you as always. I think that is not really needed for the egosa tag because I would like it to be within the realm of my activities instead, okay? 今回はなんていうの、交換日記かな？交換日記のポストを控えてくださったらいいと思いますね。だって多分今は活動関係あるのポストしかつけなくて方がいいと思いますね。なんかフリオくん今日勉強してたね。今日学校に行った。私がしたね。それをまあやっぱり控えてくださったらいいと思いますね。ありがとうございます。Next would be cosplay. I think cosplay falls a little bit better on the general tag. So, let me put it meter. I think cosplay just works better on the general tag. I think there's I check it. I check the general tag as much as I check most of my tags. So no need to add the egosa tag for me to see it. I will check it out. There's been already so many cool cosplays. So the general tag works best for cosplay. Or the R tag maybe? No, the general tag. I would also prefer to avoid cosplays on the R tag because personally I think I'm not the only one that browses my R tag. Some people want to see R but not necessarily want to see cosplay, so I think cosplay would work better on the general tag instead. 次はコスプレだね。 今回はなんかジェネラルタグでつけた方がいいと思いますね。タグを全部を巡ってるからエゴサタグでつけなくても大丈夫です。そしてファンアートタグでもつけなくてもなんていうの、つくのを控えてくださったら嬉しいですね。ありがとうございます。Next would be fan art. Fan art would be for Freodore. Likewise, I visit my fan art tag very regularly. There's no need to add the egosa tag in there. I know some people's like, oh, maybe the thought behind it is if I added, Freo will see it. But no need to worry about that. I do my best to visit the fan art tag almost every day. Which I mean, I use a lot of fan art in my thumbnails and schedules. ファンアートは、ファンアートタグで十分ですね。僕はよく毎日ぐらい巡ってるから、エゴサタグでつけなくても大丈夫です。僕はよくサムネイルとか予定表とかでよくファンアートを貸してるから。それは大丈夫です。How about if it's merch you made from your own art? That would fall more under DIY, right? I think. It's a DIY merch, so. If the purpose is to show the DIY merch to me, then I think the egosa tag is fine. If it's just the illustration, then the fan art tag is fine. All right. Next, it's fan projects or community projects. Let's keep it to fan projects. It's the same thing, right? Fan projects, community projects. I think that would be better on the general tag as well. That's the reply I responsibly made last time was about. I think in the end, this involves more than just one person, and it's more about, at least in this case, it was more about me than something related to like something I did, but it's more like a present or a gift from Doremi to me. So I think the general tag would be appropriate. That way it's not like just Freo C said, but it's this post about Freo, you know? So yeah, I think moving forward, that's where I would prefer fan projects to be tagged under. So thank you very much. And now and then also letters. I think long letters, even if related to my activities, I think it would be best if they are refrained from posting in my egosa tag. Sometimes letters can get a little bit personal, even if it's related to my activities and how much impacted. They're very sweet sometimes. And I think I would be a little bit more comfortable if it's more in a private setting, like fan letters that we receive. So in the end, I would prefer if it's impressions, that's fine. But if it's more of a letter describing like my impact or my activities or something, then if that could be avoided. If it's more of a general sense, if it's a more specific thing, that would fall under stream or video impressions, right? I'm gonna take a sip of tea. I know it's not always easy to send a physical letter, especially with how like mailing works and stuff. It takes a lot of time. But I I think this is necessary for me to be comfortable from now on. Not to say that it's uncomfortable, but I am but I think this would be better to keep it more at least the way it's Egos attacks are usually used. And to stay closer to that side than further away. Still kind of confused on the letters part. I don't know. I don't want to give too specific examples, right? I don't want. But I guess it would be more towards the line of like, let's say I reached a milestone and you're congratulating me for it. Like of course, giving sincere congratulations and everything, it's fine. But if it's like a long letter about like the milestone and then retroactively think about like everything, right? Then that goes more into like, oh, it's a kind of like a fan letter, right? And which are pretty cool. I always get really happy to read the letters. But I think perhaps from now on it would be better outside of the tag. I still haven't found like a way to maybe do this like outside of physical letters. It's kind of hard to be in like especially while maintaining a distance that I find is healthy and comfortable for me. But yeah, no, this was actually like the hardest one for me to deliberate on. But I think from now on I would like to proceed with this. Would a separate fan letter tag work? It could if it could, but I'm not sure if like that's the thing is though, when it's fan letters on X, formerly Twitter, or any social media, it's public. And I think perhaps I prefer a more private setting when it comes to being able to read the letters and also other people being able to read them, right? I know in the end it's you guys who decide to post them, but I think privacy is a little bit more adequate for me. I don't know if I'll ever open a marshmallow personally. I don't know about it. You gave short letter plus photos an example of what works before. Is this still okay? I think from now on I would prefer if it's avoided if the letter is lengthy. If it's, for example, a brief text on a photo is fine. It's kind of hard to be specific, right? How much is too lengthy, how much it's not. For example, there's sometimes where people like take pictures of coffee and show me like what they ordered and describe what they ordered. And I think in that context it's fine because it's less of a personal thing. It's like related to the coffee itself. But I think, yeah, perhaps let's do it. Do we want to go with a paragraph at most? Sorry, it's really hard for me to think of like a compromise, right? Because I know a lot of you guys like writing stuff to me, but also how can I keep it from deviating as well? Like I said, this kind of like this responsibility aspect of introducing the tag here, right? It's pretty hard, but I think it's mostly I would like to keep it brief if it's really needed. One page would be too much. But usually when it comes to showing pictures, it's always It's more like, hey, I did this, I ordered this. It's like, thank you for this. Congrats on that. And that should be, I think that should be fine. Character limit. I really should have thought more. I really wanted to think about this more, but I didn't really want to take until Friday, right? This is a brainstorming stream. Yeah, APA format. Same as Supa. I think that would be a good idea. Keeping it within the realm of like a Supa more than a letter. Because in the end, it's more about showing. It's not really about writing, right? Even if it's like stream impressions, video impressions, cover impressions, it's more like, hey, I like this. Congrats. Thank you so much for doing this. And then on more private settings, like a fan letter, you can go a little bit more in depth. That's a good idea. Thank you for the good idea. But I think the format that I have been receiving Supas so far works. So I think that works. Reminiscing is a no. Reminiscing, if it's brief on a milestone celebration, perhaps, but I think keeping it brief or to the point is ideal. Does the color of the Supa matter? But are there any other questions? なんか質問がありますか？日本語でも。I understand like this can be a little bit vague or ambiguous. And also this is always subject to change, right? Depending on how I feel.日本から質問です。フリオくんに見てほしいって意味で英語サタグ使うのは NG という解釈でやっていますか？まあ配信関係ないことならそういうことですね。もちろんコーヒーなら注文したコーヒーを見てほしいって大丈夫だけど、なんかグースとか全然何も関係なかったら、まあただこれをフリを見てほしいなら、じゃあそれを NG です。Yeah, someone asked if it's okay for me for people to make posts where it's like, Frio, can you see this? Like I want Frio to see this. Look, I went here. But I think that goes under the personal post kind of aspect. If it's unrelated to my activities, even if it's like perhaps something that I mentioned, but it does not have to do with like goods that you took them to, or events, or coffee, then perhaps it's better to refrain. Yeah, I can make the font bigger. Would you consider making a cosplay a separate tag? As a cosplayer, I like seeing other cosplayers to learn from them. I understand if it wouldn't get enough usage though. For now, I want to keep it on the general tag. If I see a lot of cosplays, then perhaps I'll be inclined to make a separate tag. But for now, I think I think it's good to put one if necessary, but for now I think I'll keep it on the general tag. Oh, that's something I missed also. Recommendations. I think this is something that I mentioned before. And I think so far people have been following this, so yeah, no, let's is that how you spell recommendations? I think avoiding recommendations is fine because I feel like sometimes that can get a little bit outside of topic, because it can be Frio, you like K-pop, right? I can recommend you this. Frio, you like Souls-like, right? I recommend you this. Recommend. So I think let's keep recommendations for when I ask for them. Seems like a good idea for fans to create a cosplay tag on their own. If fans want to make their own cosplay tag, then I'm completely okay with it. But for now, if you want to use... If you want to use an official tag, then the official one would be good. I mean, the general one would be good. Are game recommendations okay in super chats for you? I would prefer if recommendations are done when I ask for them. Personally. The reason why I'm avoiding it is because I think as long as I like something, then it becomes related to something I like. So it's easy to go out of topic with, okay, I recommend you this. This might be not an ego question, but I was wondering if it's okay to post fan personal designs like Doremin Sona in the Doremin tag. That is absolutely fine. You guys have been really good at using the Doremin tag. I really appreciate the way it's been used so far. There's been a lot of really cool Doremin Sonas, and you guys have not been imposing them on me on official tags like fan art tags or anything like that. You guys have been keeping it on the Doremin community side instead of trying to put it on the official site. So far your usage of the Doremin tag has been fine. That's completely okay. Yeah, no, the usage of the Doremin tag has been completely fine so far. No need for me to bring up something about it right now.ハリネズミは推し活に入りますか？ハリネズミカフェに行ったよ。とか、ハリネズミグースを見つけたとか。まあ、フリオのグースと見せたらいいと思うけど。だってハリネズミがどこでもあるでしょ。だから、まあもちろんハリネズミ見たらフリオって考えるのは嬉しいけど、まあグースとかと見せてくれたらいいと思うね。Someone asked if it's okay for people to show stuff related to hedgehogs. It's understandable, right? There's hedgehogs everywhere, and when people think of hedgehogs, they'll think of me sometimes. So, I mean, if you went to like a hedgehog cafe or something and you took the pape or the cheki or the akusta, that's completely fine. But if it's by itself, then perhaps it's better not to. But yeah, I hope maybe the Egosa tag usage is a little bit more clear now. As long as the merch is included. Yeah, I mean, because the whole point is like Oshikatsu is like showing me where you're taking the goods, right? So if you want to take them to a hedgehog cafe, of course I want to see it. I want to see where you guys take all the goods. I think seeing all of this really seems, or really looks, or I'm not gonna say looks. It is strict, isn't it? It is pretty strict, especially compared to like how things are used a little bit more in the West. I think I mean, there's no Egosa tag normally, and I understand this can be a little bit too restrictive for a lot of people. That is completely valid. The way I do my streams and the way that I envision doing stuff, a lot of stuff that I explain is a lot of stuff that is new to us, but perhaps it's a little bit more of something that's a bit more understood on the communities around the libraries and the people that I admire. And of course, I cannot pretend to be something that I am not, because I am not JP. I will never be JP. But I really want to try my best to create a place where I can be comfortable and be the liver that I want to be. Out of respect for following the steps of all the livers that I admire as well, right? I want to be able to feel like I can make a place for myself here. And this is not just something I consider out of myself, but it's also a way for things to be organized in a way that that people from various cultures, because there's a lot of cultural differences, that's been a little bit, significantly challenging for me to tackle on, to find a balance for. And that in consideration of my preferences, right? My etiquette preferences, which definitely lead more towards one side than the other. But it's also so I can be the liver that I want to be and have the dynamic that I want to be. That I want to have, I mean. The vision of the liver and the dynamic that I want to have has been evolving ever since I debuted it. It's probably not going to be the last time I update a rule or the usage of something. But I think that's part of the journey. I really wish I knew so many more things when I started. I really wish I expected way more many things when I started. But I don't think I would want to go back because it's all a learning experience, and I think both Doremi and I have been able to experience a lot of really cool experiences. So I wouldn't want to go back. I wouldn't be here if I didn't start the way I did, right? So yeah. Just wanted to make sure if I made a fan art of Doremi that was made into a print, would I tag it under fan art, Doremi, or DIY? I mean, there's no DIY tag, but for example, if it's art of Doremi or goods of Doremi, and your purpose is more to like showcase the Doremi art, then you would put it in the Doremi tag, right? If you want to show me that you made a DIY Doremi, then you could put it on on the ego search tag. These dialogues can be hard but necessary. Thanks for your consideration and care. It's really something that I really take seriously and I want to approach carefully. Because I really don't want to make it seem like I am dismissing or not caring about the people that go out of their way to watch me all the time, to support me in their own way. There's a lot of like cultural stuff that perhaps my rules are very new to from people of certain backgrounds, including mine. I had to learn a lot of these things myself. But here I am, learning as I go, right? Of course, I'm gonna mention it again, it's completely valid if it's not for you. Sometimes freedom is more fun for certain people. Sometimes rules are more... people can be at ease more with rules. I am a lover for rules, as you guys can see. So it's all about finding someone that you want to support that you're compatible with. And that's I'm gonna shill my coworkers a little bit more. And that's a beautiful thing about NIJISANJI and NIJISANJI EN, that there's so much variety. So I really hope there's someone for everyone out there. And for those that stuck with me, I'll be under your care as well. Not just on my solo streams, but whenever I'm working with my senpais and of course with Vita Beat.後から質問してすみません。英語さ、引用、RT して関係ないことを書いても大丈夫でしょうか？まあ、RT と QRT なんか関係なかったら、じゃあ、英語さタグをつけなくても大丈夫です。それはもう。タグ以上だからね。Someone asked if it's okay to QRT or retweet stuff that's unrelated to the tag. Like for tag posts, like let's say someone post like a picture and then quote RT that post themselves with something else that's unrelated. If you don't add the tag to the QRT, then that's fine. That's more up to you guys. Because that's more for your profile in that case, right? Anyways, my Zatsudan was not supposed to be just about this, by the way. It was supposed to actually be a chat, like a normal chat, but this was something that I wanted to bring up. However, it's okay to take as much time as we need to. As long as perhaps a lot more things are clear. And also, of course, once again, if I am ever to update this or introduce something new, I'll make sure to update that responsibly and with consideration of everyone, right? Hmm. まあ、普通の雑談つもりだったけど、まあ、いっぱい時間経ったね。まあ、これを説明するのが大事だから。そして僕はまだ、もちろん、なんか、EN 文化、JP 文化を混ぜてるけど、僕はもちろん、JP 圏じゃないですね。だから、わかんない部分が多いよ。わかんない作法も多いよ。けど、 みんなを配信で活動をなんかゆっくり勝手に応援するためにいっぱい習うのを頑張りたいと思いますね。バランスがあるために。多分これはなんか不良のルールが厳しいね、不良がルール多いね考える人がいると思うし、それもいいと思います。わかるよ。なんかもっと自由があって欲しい人がいて応援するときに推し活のときにそれもわかります。気にしないでください。だから二次三次と二次三次イエンが素敵ですね。いろんな種類ライバーと活動者がいるから。Your Japanese is so good that we mistakenly assume you understand Japanese culture too. There's a lot of stuff that's like very unspoken that I learned after the fact. So I'm doing my best. Super chat ありがとうございます。I hope that I can become a Poyo again after this stream. I haven't slept since the earlier Satsu, so hopefully I can sleep early now. Now that this is now that I got to talk about this a little bit more. I really don't think I could have waited until Friday. I think it was important, right? Especially clarifying the earlier thing. I think intentions are very important, sometimes more than the actions. Or it does not excuse the actions, but I really wanted to take responsibility for my actions the best I can. Anything I introduce you guys and any of these rules, my influence on you and how you behave reflects me. So, oh my god, camera. So it's on me to also lead by example, right? The moon is falling. That's not the pollo. That's not the pollo I wanted to become. That's not the chicken I want to become. Oh no, I'm becoming Chicken Little. Because I'm gonna drink some more tea. With that being said, are there any more questions before I move on here? というわけで、話し続ける前に質問がありますか? Is it okay to keep up old letters in your Egosat or not? Everything that's already passed and posted there, you guys can keep it. You guys don't have to delete anything. Para las fotos del Egosat pueden ser fotos con DIY en lugar de los goods, o es más preferible solo los goods. Pues por supuesto es preferible, me encantaría que puedan mostrarme dónde llevan los goods, pero también si ustedes hicieron algo de DIY, como dice en la lista, si me quieren mostrar algo que hicieron ustedes, que tiene que ver conmigo, o sí, adelante. Me encantaría verlo. このに遅く質問してません。すみません。パペに関していたフリオさんに見せたい写真とか、それはまたフリミルにあるの？それと別のパペ特別タグ？はあ。まあ、パペならグースの話だから、それも大丈夫ですね。だってパペを見せてくれるから。大丈夫です。パペタグない。Oh, hello, Calyx. Hi, Calyx. Welcome. Hello, Debonaires. Hello, Debonaires. You guys caught me. You guys caught me reintroducing my Egosat tag to everyone. Oh, I think someone asked a question that I didn't get to reply. Did I reply the question about including other livers in other livers goods in the Egosat tag? I think I don't think I answered that, right? That is completely fine. Sometimes friends get together and they take pictures together. If let's say I'm gonna borrow Calyx here. If someone takes a picture with a Foodie Pape and Calyx Pape, and they want to tag both, then that's fine. That is completely fine. Just when it comes to other livers, just keep in mind my boundaries and their boundaries. And let's be tasteful about the things you guys do with the goods. Please do not bury me in cake. My birthday's in February. Please do not bury me in cake. The pape, the acrylic stand, please do not bury me in cake. This is serious. Do not bury me in cake. I don't want to be buried in cake. I don't like the texture. ケーキに入らないでください。Also, Calyx said, thank you again for introducing me to the Egosat tag. It has brought me so much joy to have one, and I never would have thought to have one if you didn't do it. Yeah, no, it really was cool to see everyone follow me with the idea. It's always, I don't know. I don't wanna pretend like, oh yeah, I was the one who came up with this. I was the one who made them do this. Oh, you see them doing that? That was me. That was me. But it always makes me happy to see to have you guys agree with my ideas and stuff. So I think I brought it up on Maria Senpai's Satsu. That while I didn't come up with True to Heart, we came up with that together, I believe. But having a group chant, like a K-pop group, was my idea, right? That's something that I proposed at first. So. That is something that makes me really happy that it's a thing. I think someone mentioned having my acrylic stand on top of a cake. If it's not buried in the cake, if it's like fashionably sitting on top of the cake in a platform that's not touching the cake, not getting his precious clothes dirty, that's okay. Come on, you're gonna get the signer's clothes dirty? Jeez. Trying to think if there were any more questions. That I had to clear up before we move on. また最後に言ってみるわ。続ける前に質問がありますか? ¿Hay algunas preguntas antes de pasar a otro tema? Anything else you want us to avoid with Poppy or Standy? Fan merch in the Egosa? Yeah, that counts as DIY, so... Let me put it right here, just in case. Fan merch. Fan goods. Merch. That is fine. As for something I would want to avoid with the Standy or the Poppy, I would say let's not waste food. If it's like, of course, if you're putting it like on top of a cake that you're gonna eat, that's fine. But let's not like waste food. If it's not something you're gonna eat, or if it's just for the sake of like making something chaotic or dirty. I don't know, it's like the Poppy and the Standy are a representation of myself. So I would like them to be handled with respect and care. I can't really come up with stuff that I absolutely don't do that to the Poppy. But sometimes people's creativity goes outside of my expectations, so... Maybe I'll have to issue an update. Update, please do not microwave the Frio Pop. Oh look, the comment just came here. Please do not air fry the Frio Poppy. Please do not. Do not. It's like, you guys waited so long for it to arrive. Let's be nice to the Frio Poppy, to the Foodie Poppy, please. Foodie Poppy を優してくれたら嬉しいですね。いじめないでください。本当に。いじめないでください。みんなは、わざわざパペを届くのを待ってるから、努力、なんていうの、patience をリスペクトした方がいいと思うね。ほんまに。Yeah, it's kind of like people have been waiting so long to get the Poppy, so wouldn't it be a shame if it was... I mean, I guess people can see, but I can treat it however I want, but at least when you show me, please be nice to it. Sorry about that. I'm just stretching a little bit. Dressing up the Poppy? That's up to you. That is the closest thing you'll have over control. That's the closest control you'll have over my outfit, so have fun with that. Anyways, is it okay for me to disappear? get rid of the egosa tag text. エゴサタグの説明を消えていいですか？ Alright, thank you. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. It really means a lot to me. 本当に聞いてくれてありがとうございます。マジで感謝です。丁寧に。Anyways, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I ordered some clothes, but they were not my size. I really thought I was one size, but I guess that one size kind of didn't work for me. So I have to return the size and get another one. Of course, I'm not gonna reveal my size. I think perhaps that's something I can reveal in the future, but I'll have to do the return process. そうね、ブラックフライデーを、服を買ってくれたけど、届いて、ちょっとなんかサイズはちょっと違かったから、リターンしないといけないね。You know, thankfully, usually as long as the tags are there, you can return it and you can get another size, so there's no big deal. I just need to go out of the way to return things, right? もちろんなんかリターンできるね。そして別のサイズももらえるけど、ただなんかリターンのプロセスはちょっとめんどくさいね。I think all the pants I bought fit me pretty well, which is actually surprising because I was actually worried about the pants the most, but the tops that I bought were the ones that I bought the wrong size for. Mostly like jackets and coats. But it is what it is. Hopefully I can get the new sizes soon. なんか一番緊張してたものはパンツだったけど、パンツは結構大丈夫だった。なんかコートとジャケットがサイズは違かったけど。Yeah, no, pants are the scariest ones to buy online, but thankfully it went well. I also bought a new set of headphones that I'm really looking forward to receiving, or like in-ear monitors. They're a little bit different than the ones I'm using right now. I'm really looking forward because it's been a while since I used a deep insertion in-ear monitor that bypasses the ear canal. So I really want to see if it plays an impact on my monitoring because well, I really like these in-ear monitors that I use right now for music listening and for like audio, even like mixing sometimes. I feel like sometimes when I monitor myself, I cannot hear myself clearly, and that's possibly because of the bass frequencies. Like being accurate enough that they mask how I perceive my own voice. And I really want to give it a try both for recording and for streaming because it might be that right now I am trying to compensate for what I hear right now. And that could be a reason why my voice gets tired so often. So I want to give it a try. I used to use a pair that broke on me that was deep insertion and I really liked it for monitoring, so I decided, you know what, let's give it this type a try, even if they're not the most accurate for mixing. Perhaps for monitoring, something that is more bass anemic could be more useful for me. Do you guys want graphs? Do you guys want graph lessons? Headphone lesson? Headphone satsu? All right. It is headphone satsu. Last time I had a microphone satsu, so we can do a headphone satsu this time. 前回はマイクサツしたから、まあ今回はヘッドフォンサツしようかな。So this is just a sample. I am not the most knowledgeable in this field. There's a lot that I'm gonna be speaking out of memory. So please bear with me. もちろんなんか僕はなんかそんなにプロフェッショナルじゃないから多分間違ってる情報があるかな。Maybe I might be mistaken about things. But for example, this is is this for IEMs or for headphones? Wait 1 second. IEM diffuse field target. What would be a good graph? I guess for explaining this works. If I'm incorrect, please do not take my word as a gospel. I am just speaking of my memory and from what I understand. 多分間違ってるかも。まあ許してくださいね。ちゃんと説明できなかったら。So, this is a frequency response graph. This is what's called a diffuse field frequency response. So let me grab my... Do I not have my mark? Where's my mark? Oh. Mark. Yeah, found it. Wait, I cannot see it with the background. Oh, there you are. Huh? Yoisho. So, this is a frequency response graph. What you guys see right now is the frequency from the lower frequencies, the bass, the mids, and the treble. これは低音、中音、高音ね。And then what decides if the bar goes up or down is the volume. So, when it comes to speakers, the ideal most neutral, like the ideal response that we want out of like a speaker for mixing, for monitoring, or for ideal music listening, depending if what your purpose is, there's really no audio can be really subjective when it comes to taste. You want a flat graph showing that there's no alteration to how the speakers reproduce audio. However, the human anatomy does not work like this. If you put headphones on, like there's so many like intricate shapes that the ear has inside the ear canal has, and it's different for each person. So some researchers have done many different response targets to kind of have an idea of what a neutral target would be. What would be the closest thing to speakers in a human ear when you put a headphone on, or an in-ear monitor. This is one of them. I'm not gonna say which one's the best one. It's something that's completely debated all the time. But in this, I believe in this response graph that's called diffuse field, this was done, I believe, by setting a set of speakers in like an anechoic room. And it's a very like audio engineering complicated stuff. And the response that they receive for what they think is neutral is this. So it would be flat over here. And then for us to perceive it neutral, we would have to have like a boost here and then it slowly go down. But of course, there's other targets that are a little bit more different, I think. Let me see what's there's the JM1 target's pretty common nowadays. I just want to make sure that I'm not using like someone's graphs without permission though. Anyways, yeah, no, I think it's better if I just stick to this one that has no branding or anything. So, what we expect from headphones are headphones that follow these kind of target responses the closest possible if the objective is for it to be neutral. Not everyone wants a neutral headphone. Some people like more treble. They want a brighter sound, especially those that like J-pop, K-pop. Brighter headphones tend to be more pleasurable for people that listen to these genres. A lot of people that like hip-hop, rap, they like bassy, warm. So they like a little bit more bass, and like the mids a little bit more warm here, a little bit more of an elevation. Some people that like doing voice-over editing, they like the least amount of bass and not a lot of treble either, but a focus on the mids, which is where the human voice stands out the most, so that they can nitpick the details of the human voice. And that is what I am trying to aim with these new headphones. Right now, the headphones that the in-ear monitors that I have, they have a pretty tasteful amount of bass and a pretty tasteful amount of mids and treble, to the point where it's like a completely natural, almost boring. A lot of people find neutral headphones boring because it just replays what you hear as is. As an audio engineer, I personally try to listen to music the way it's recorded, so I don't want any coloration. But some people really like coloration, and that's completely fine. Some people like really bassy headphones, some people like really treble heavy headphones. So it's really up to taste, but my goal right now with the headphones I bought is something that is very clean on bass, not a lot of bass, and a focus on mids and treble for me to be able to focus on my voice more than anything else. I think that's going to be really useful for me to record and useful for me to monitor myself. Even when streaming, I'm still not sure which I would prefer for streaming, but I'll have to test, and testing is it's gonna be interesting. I'm glad equalizers are a thing. Yes, that is true. EQ is also a thing. Software, an equalizer will create a little band on the frequency response of like a headphone or any sound wave, and will increase or decrease the volume. I do that on my headphones a lot. I mean on my microphones a lot, especially when mixing. So technically, you could buy a headphone that's very comfortable for you, and if it takes EQ well, which I think most headphones do nowadays, you can adjust the frequency response of the headphone to your personal taste. There's like a complete side of there's like two sides of the audio community. A side that is very anti-EQ. It says it defeats the point of the headphone. It can never replicate anything. It will never be... They can hear the difference. And there's another side that believes that EQ completely fixes everything. And there's no need to buy expensive headphones because you can EQ it to anything. For me, I lean more towards the EQ side. I'm okay EQing my headphones. It's just like comfort that I value more, because I think most importantly is something that I feel like I can wear all day. And the reason why, instead of just EQing the headphones I have right now, I bought new ones is because these go deep into your ear, deeper than most in-ear monitors, and bypass the ear canal. So even if I EQ, then I can do that without worrying about the seal breaking whenever I'm singing. And have ideal noise isolation as well. You know, I personally prefer in-ear monitors more than headphones. I don't like headphone hair, so I do in-ear monitors. Does every headphone have this kind of information attached? I'm so noob. Some headphones and some IEMs will have a graph. Not all of them, for you to have an idea. However, usually a lot of users, a lot of people that dedicate themselves to testing, reviewing a lot of headphones, they will graph them themselves with a tool. And they have their own databases with the headphones that they have graphed, and it's really cool to like check them out yourself and compare. That's something I do all the time whenever I'm gonna buy a headphone. I always compare different databases to see what kind of frequency they have, how well they take EQ. I always take into account that. And of course the color. It needs to be a color I like. It's like quality over quantity. I mean, kinda, right? I have to say though, it's a big rabbit hole. A lot of people that get into headphones, they really like to get the idea of like, okay, but this one sounds different. What if I buy this one for this genre, and this one for this genre, and this one's for this genre? And I'm not anyone to tell people what to do with their money, but just be careful. It's easy to feel like, okay, I need this headphone, now I need this one, I need this one, I need this one. And every time there's new headphones coming out as well. So the temptation is it's pretty heavy. I am gonna say though, when it comes to working with music, the most important thing, more than having the most accurate headphone, the best gear, that doesn't matter. What matters the most when working with music is for you to know the gear that you already have. It really does not matter. Of course, it can have an influence, right? It can make things easier or harder for you to work with. However, if you know your gear really well, then you will know how music is supposed to sound, even if the headphone is not the most accurate thing. Even if the speakers are not the most accurate. If you know how music is supposed to sound and how music sounds good, how your favorite music sounds in that headphone, and you can replicate it, then that's enough. You don't need anything else. There's this set of speakers that are really popular in the mix engineering side. I think they're the Yamaha's NH10 or NS10. I forget the name. Those are speakers that have barely any bass. Any bass or any treble. But people mix with them because they know them so well and they can focus on the mid-range, which is very important for vocals on the mix. Where there's a lot of people that check their mixes with the Apple earbuds. Because while they're not the most accurate, the fanciest thing, it's something that most people have. So it's a good reference for you to check how it's gonna sound. Because if you want to mix music, you want to make music that sounds good for most people, right? I think anyone that's ever mixed before, I experience this all the time. I make a mix and I'm like, nice, I think it sounds good. And then I play it on my phone's speaker and I'm like, what happened? What happened? Where is the wideness? Why the vocals sound so dry? It's important to check on multiple sources. A lot of people check in their car speakers as well. Yeah, no, it's been it's a process for sure. It's a process for sure, and I think most mix engineers will agree with me that There's no such thing. I think this is a very good quote from various mix engineers. It's better to have a finished work, a finished mix, than a perfect mix. Because you'll never find the mix that sounds perfect to you. You'll always be unsatisfied about something. But clients don't have all the time to wait. They will want a finished product. So sometimes, and I think this applies to a lot of work, not just mixing. Sometimes it's better to just finish than to worry too much about perfecting everything before it comes out, because then it's gonna take forever. If it's like an illustration, a project you're doing, a video, I know the feeling, right? It has to be perfect. That's something that I need to learn also when it comes to recording. I feel like I record way too much more than necessary because I need to get the line exactly like how I want it. But I think that's been hindering my vocal progress in a way, because I'm spoiling myself with retakes instead of training myself to get it in less tries. But that's another story, the whole vocal journey thing. I think there was also like another thing that a mix engineer told me once, and it was the first 2 hours are for the client, the other 18 are for you. When it comes to a mix. So basically, what it means is that the first 2 hours you do on a mix, you're mixing with, is what becomes good enough for your client to be, oh, I like that, that sounds good. And then the other 18 are for you to be satisfied with it, or to be satisfied enough with it, because the client will say, sounds good, I like it. But you're like, no, doesn't sound good. It's a very real feel. I haven't really been mixing much outside of my cover shorts, so I'm pretty rusty at it as well. Toころで、ちょっといっぱい話してたね。なんかオタク話。日本語で説明しなくてすまんね。I forgot to like translate what I was saying to Japanese. I kind of got into the nerdy talk. まあ、オーディオ記載の単語はちょっと難しいけどね。Maybe I can try to like explain it briefly in Japanese also. なんか簡単で説明してみるね。なんかこれは、frequency response graph って言うよね。日本語でわかんないけど、これは高音、中音っていうよね。そしてなんかスピーカーなら、目標のリスポンスは、これはフラットラインだね。でも、ヘッドホンならなんか人間の耳は、ちょっと違うから、スピーカーのフラットとヘッドホンのフラットは違うね。いろんな理論があるね。これは diffuse field frequency response の理論だけど、この理論でフラットはこんな感じね。低音はフラットで、そして中音から上がって、そして低音で、高音で得ますね。こんな感じ。そしてヘッドフォンがいろんなリスポンス、ターゲットを続いてるね。いろんなだからイヤホンオタクがいろいろを買ってるけど、まあマジでやばい趣味だよ。高くなるよ。いっぱいお金払うよ。Oh, there's something that I forgot to explain as well regarding headphones, especially in-ear monitors. There's a thing called the head-related transfer function. The HTRF And what that means is that depending on each person's individual ears, there's going to be some sort of peak in the treble that is very unique to each person. So it's very likely that no human can hear a headphone the same way because the anatomy of each ear is different. And then that means, for example, let's say there's a little peak here. For some people, the peak will be earlier in the frequency response. And for some people, the peak will be later on. So for example, if you're EQing the headphones, it's very hard to EQ the treble unless you do it really manually, because you have to like listen and find where your HTRF, your head-related transfer function, is in the frequency response. One way you can test that with, be careful, don't listen on loud volumes, is get a tone generator. Like there's a few websites, if you just look up tone generator on a search engine, it will show up. And scroll the frequencies from lowest to highest until you find a spot where it suddenly gets louder than the normal. And that's where you'll find your head-related transfer function. And that's where you know your ear anatomy is a little bit more sensitive, or where the peak that you have to like equalize is. It's very complex. It's super complex. People get really in-depth about headphones. Yeah, no, be really careful with blasting, especially when you're wearing headphones or IEMs. Loud volumes for prolonged periods of time is not healthy. So, be careful with that, okay? もちろんなんかヘッドフォンと IEM をつけたら高いボリュームを気をつけてくださいね。危ないから。マジで危ない。The stream volume. Yeah, no, if I start yelling, we don't want your ears to be in trouble, right? Anyways, that's my very surface level explanation of headphones. Once again, I could be very mistaken. It's been a while since I researched a lot of these topics. There's people way better at the subject than I am. So, just take everything I say with a grain of salt, okay? もちろんですね。これはただ僕の記憶だけど、まあそんなに詳しくないから、100% 正しいことではないかもしれないから、みんな気をつけてくださいね。気になったらぜひ自分の時間で検索してくれたらいいと思います。The main reason why I like your streams is because your voice volume is usually very stable, and then I can listen while doing other things and not get my focus diverted easily. I'm glad. I feel like sometimes I can be a little bit monotone, so I'm glad it has its strength. Except when I'm playing Rain World. Rain World was a different story. That really takes me back, right? Ring World? It's already been... Oh, I feel like when I was playing the game, I was like, oh, I can't wait to beat it. It's so painful, but now I kind of miss it. I think it was one of the most fun games that I played on stream. Now, not looking back, I think if I go back to playing it, I'll be like, why did I go back? But retroactively thinking about it, I'm like, they were pretty cool memories. Very, very nice memories of Rain World. Rain World 懐かしいよね。多分あの時は早くクリアしたいって思ってたけど、現在はまあいい記憶だね。いい経験だった。楽しかったね。みんなとやると。You know, the DLC is also there, so we can always go back to it. But we'll see. De ahí salió Chamuco. Exactos. Eso es cierto. That is true. Chamuco came from Ringworld. That is so nostalgic. 確かになんかChamucoが Ringworld の配信から来たね。Anyways, maybe this can be the Spanish word of today. 多分これは今日のスペイン語言葉になりますね。Since I gave you guys the course on it. No, not Chamuco. I already taught you guys Chamuco. Okay. Headphones. In Spanish, it's audífonos. ちょっと難しいね. It's a little bit hard, huh? Audífonos. It has a tilde on the I, so it's not audífonos. It's audífonos. Audífonos. It's a little bit long, though. That is right. Audífonos. Yosh. But anyways, I think this is enough for today. I'm gonna be ending the stream here. Thanks so much for joining me. It was nice chatting with everyone about headphones, about my shopping, and of course about the tag related stuff at the beginning of the stream. And also thanks so much for everyone that stayed from the redirect. Very much appreciate it. I'm gonna continue doing my best to be better than yesterday and be the best lifer that I wanna be, that I can be. ここで終了させていただきますね。みんなの話を聞いてくださってありがとうございます。これからも頑張ります。なりたいライバーになるために頑張ります。And of course, I'll be under your care from now on as well, right? もちろんですね。これからもよろしくお願いします。So, with that being said, I'm gonna be reading the super chats. Okay? ということで、ここでスーパーチャットを読んで、後で修理させていただきます。Let's see if I can sleep early and become the chicken that I long to be. For now, at least. 多分早く寝てくれたら、憧れてる鶏になれるかもしれないね。頑張ります。ポヨドル。サモガリさん、スーパーチャットありがとうございます。丁寧に説明してくれてありがとう。いやー、日本語でまだ説明するのはまだ満足してないけど、頑張りますね。頑張ります。Hakumai, thank you so much for the super chat. Super chat ありがとうございます。Thank you for always for your kind responses. I'll be mindful of the tags, especially after your explanation, and I'll continue to support you. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Sololi, thank you so much for the super chat. Terimakasi just joined. I did get my results for my exams. I got an A in Mandarin. Hopefully, I can reward myself by buying the Buy the Beat merch. Otsu, I hope you can. I hope you can as well. Hope you can enjoy our merch. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. リンコさん、スーパースティッカーありがとうございます。Kaivara, thanks so much for the super sticker. The Mint Rain, thanks so much for the super chat. Thank you for explaining Frio, and thank you for the coffee lesson this morning and the headphone lesson. I can feel my brain growing in size. And then it's one on, right? One on. Shishia, thank you very much. I hope for everyone this headphone knowledge becomes useful for someone someday. I don't know when. I don't know when this information will be useful, but if it becomes useful, then I'll feel happy. いつかなんかこのヘッドフォンの情報でなんか役に立ったらまあよかったね。よかったわ。嬉しくなる。Meng-san, thanks so much for the super chat. Kamsahamnida. Descansa mucho, Min. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias, Kamsahamnida. And then, Gin-san, thanks so much for the super sticker. Ivy-chan, スーパーチャットありがとうございます。いつもありがとうございます。これからもよろしくね。おつ。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございますね。そして、Evie Kaler, thanks so much for the super sticker. Very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Han Yue, thanks so much for the super sticker. Very much appreciated. Try to wear earplugs at loud events too. Yes, that is very important. If you guys, there's a lot of concert mins that like to go to concerts a lot. Be careful with the loud volumes. There are some earplugs that you can purchase to insert into your ears, and that will make it so that you're listening in way healthier levels. That is very important. That is very good. Yeah. It's very important. そうですね、なんかコンサートライブに行くのが好きの皆様にイヤープラグを使っていいよね。だって音量が高いから耳に長く聞いて耳に良くないからイヤープラグを買ってくれたらいいと思いますね。Mega Shikune, thanks so much for the super chat. Gracias por las aclaraciones para el tag y la clase de audífonos. Es interesante aprender nuevas cosas. Se le agradece, Free Sensei. Muchas gracias. Qué bueno que se pudieron pasar. Aprecio mucho. And Mooney-san, thanks so much for the super sticker. Very much appreciated. Eve, thanks so much for the super chat. Thank you for the Guerilla and Coffee Satsu. I always appreciate the comfortable vibes and info tidbits. I'll continue to be under your care. Likewise, I'll continue to be under everyone's care. Thank you very much. DMC, thanks so much for the super chat. Shinkula. Kapitan, curious for some matcha gear fund. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, it would be cool to do the matcha gear satsu someday. It would be cool. I'll have to see about that. Right now, I'm very coffee focused. But in the future, it would be cool. With like the brush and everything. Wait, where's my... yeah. Okay. ナナカさん、すごいちょっとありがとうございます。ナナカさん、ありがとうございます。Thank you very much. フリオくん、今日もお疲れ様でした。真面目に頑張るフリオくんが好きです。これからも応援してます。新しいタグのツイートを楽しみ。仕事中にこっそりあなたの配信を見ているファンより Sorry for my bad Japanese. No need to worry about it. I think it was pretty good and I understand what you wanted to convey. So thank you very much. 日本語は全然大丈夫です。僕よりうまいよ。ありがとうございます。 Kaivara, thanks so much for the super chat. Thank you for doing your best to balance your goals as a liver while considering doraemon and our feelings and experience. Appreciate you, Frio-kun. Thank you very much. I really hope that that it's conveyed at least. I don't think I can meet everyone's expectations. That's impossible. That's impossible. But I can do my best to try and make it comfortable for the most people possible within the realm of my comfort, right? And my goals and stuff. I don't really want to let... I don't want to deviate from my essence and how I want to do things, but also I think I want to find a way to optimize my essence in a way. The most I can. So, thank you so much for looking over me, watching over me. Thank you very much. Oh, Haroya, thanks so much for the super stickers ですよね。チャーニュさん、スーパーチャットありがとうございます。いつもたくさんありがとう。これからもフリオくんを応援しています。ありがとうございますね。これからも頑張ります。ありがとうございます。Fluke, thanks so much for the super sticker. Very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. Alright. I think I was able to read all of them, so I'm gonna be ending the stream here. 全部読めたと思いますし、ここで終了させていただきます。ワピコネコ thanks so much for the super stickers ですよね。I'll see you guys next time, okay? See you guys on Wednesday for a collab. Pretty exciting collab. また、なんていうの、木曜日に会いましょうね、コラボで。ありがとうございます。Good night. Good night, good night. We're gonna go to Shu Senpai's stream. He's playing Pokemon Legends ZA. I wonder which starter he chose. We're gonna redirect to his stream, okay? 今、Shu Senpaiがポケモン ZA やってるから、あそこに行きましょうか。リダイレクトしましょう。誰が選んだかな？しっこりたくみかな。Alright, see you guys.